Welcome back to the Average Roast Podcast. This is episode 3. We missed last week. I know I had stuff going on, and I think Darren had stuff going on. And honestly, there wasn't a lot going on outside of that in esports and stuff. At least not that like I watched, but
I was sleeping.
uh, my my gaming room's different now. We're not quite done with it, but it looks a lot better than it did. It's pretty exciting.
Dude, I want a gaming room.
Dude, someday, man, and I'll come help you set it up.
Like I want to have a room where I sleep, but I want to leave that room and go into another room and play games.
Dude, I
How
feel
many
like
rooms is your house?
Wait, what?
we have 4 bedrooms. So we have our bedroom, guest bedroom,
That's what I said. I was like,
I gotta
damn.
move out west.
and eventually she'll have her office once we get around to finishing that up. But
Is that what that corner room's gonna be for?
yeah, yep.
Noise.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy. 4 bedrooms. Holy shit.
welcome back. We have some stuff to talk about. We've got the London home series we can talk about. We have roster moves in the CDL because there's a lot of those after the end of stage 2. But first, like what's one or two content creators, could be like podcasters, streamers, YouTubers, just somebody that you watch that you think other people would enjoy. Whoever wants to go first.
I've been probably like the past month. I've been like elbow deep in GTA RP. Specifically the No Pixel. You watch, David?
No, I don't know why I'm laughing.
But it's highly entertaining because it's the city of Los Santos, and almost everyone in the city is like a real person, and they all play a character. There's a police department, there's an economy, like it goes so in depth, but just the interactions between people has been hysterical. But I've been specifically watching this guy, Kyle, that's his name on Twitch. He's a cop, and then there's another dude named Buddha, who's like one of the like crime lords of the city. But it's hysterical. There's so many good moments between people,
and it's really popular.
You watch one person, and then you see them interact with someone else, and then you find them on Twitch, and you start watching them, and just rolls downhill. You just find yourself like, now half of my follow list is like all GTA RP people.
That's actually awesome. I've watched a little bit of it, but
yeah, instead of Noob Combo, you're just gonna be doing like GTA, like roleplay combo.
I looked it up. There's a whole wiki dedicated to the No Pixel server.
That's
and it goes like in depth.
That's crazy.
I didn't think.
So you said Kyle and Buddha?
Kyle is Twitch TV/Kyle and Twitch TV/Buddha BUDDHA.
I'll have to definitely check them out.
Maddie was telling me about
I've heard of Buddha actually. I don't know about Kyle, but I've heard of Buddha.
Maddie was telling me about Kyle because Kyle knows like Halo players and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, because Pistola is a regular in Kyle.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was to surprise. I was just watching, and I saw Pistola pop up.
Like weird crossover
thing. And he was like, Pistola, when we play in Halo Infinite.
That's
when
awesome.
The game comes out.
David, who do you got? Like, who's somebody that you like to watch or listen to?
I gotta throw in CD in the third too. Always watch him.
Cool. Oh, he's hilarious.
Makes any game entertaining.
Yeah, I agree.
CDN's cool. I'd probably say Hex's Eavesdrop. His podcast.
That's a great.
Like, granted, I'm not like the biggest podcast person, but like when there is the opportunity that you do get to like listen to a guest that you are interested in, like whenever he does people like from like the Halo community, or even if there's like something going on in the scene at the current moment and he has the chance to talk to them about it around that moment, like that's cool. I'd probably say that, and then maybe like probably Shyway.
Yeah,
Shyway does all the like the Halo 5 analytical stuff and all his like breakdown videos of gameplay and whatnot. I think that's pretty cool. I think I'd probably say Shyway and Hex's Eavesdrop podcast.
That's one of my favorite podcasts for sure.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I mean, he has like a natural conversation flow about him that he can just talk to anybody. It's weird, and it's never awkward. It's never like there's never like dead air or anything like that. It's just
He's
He's
just
just
good.
such a talkable guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when he has people on that like aren't involved with Call of Duty
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
because I
me
like
too.
how I like hearing him pick their brain, and I like also
Mhm.
seeing more about how much he knows about other esports.
Hmm.
I agree. It's also I just feel like when you talk about when you talk to Call of Duty players, and it's nothing against them, unless their personalities are very big. But it just feels kind of like I don't know, not much is there. I guess.
Yeah.
I just like it's something
But
different, rather
yeah,
than seeing Call of Duty every.
I agree. I always like whenever he talks to like anybody in the Halo scene, even if they don't even play the game. Like if he did one with with Tashi or something, that'd be cool. Like I would watch
Oh,
that.
I
He's
want
been
that
saying
so
for a
bad.
while that he wants to do one with him.
Yeah.
It's just they
I would
haven't
love that.
had the right time.
Did you guys
If
watch
anything,
the?
I feel like he would wait till Infinite comes out for that.
That's actually a good point. Did you guys watch the Maven one by any chance? Because this
That was
was
a while
this
ago,
was quite a
wasn't it?
while ago, but they talk a
Yeah,
lot about
I
Halo
think I
because
did.
that's where Maven started, and I thought that one was really good. But
Yeah, because Maven grew up playing like Halo CE with like Adam Apicella and all those guys and
yeah,
Gandhi and stuff.
yep.
Yeah.
Darren, who you been watching or listening to?
Podcasts I listen to either the Goons podcast, which is like Blarg, McNasty, Soup, and the Do, all just being dumb and funny.
What names?
Yeah, right.
What
And I watch all of
names?
their YouTube content too. They're just a bunch of freaking dorks, and they make me laugh. I haven't really gone on a search for like a good podcast about like esports, which I need to find one, and I might start looking up ones that you guys have mentioned. But that's kind of about it. I don't. I watch a little bit of like low tier streamers every now and again just to kind of get to know other people in the community that are kind of in the same boat I am. They're
Yeah,
trying to grow.
like that guy that you hosted that one day, the Russian
Yeah,
guy.
roll
Roll
twice. Dude,
twice.
that guy's awesome.
Oh, he's hilarious.
I go in his stream at like every time I open up and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He just like freaks out that I'm there. It's just so awesome.
He's so funny and genuine. That was
Some
actually
Russian
really good.
guy who's just hilarious.
As far as content from me, I think my new favorite podcast is Two Times the Grind with Snakebite and Lottie.
Yeah,
that was good. They're just pretty good.
They're just I don't know,
Listen
they're
to
really good together. They
Yeah.
and you get like you do get two good perspectives because Snakebite does it. He plays for a living, and then
Mhm.
Lottie. A lot of people think she's just like a desk host, but she actually like puts in a lot of work to like break down
Oh,
matches.
yeah.
I mean, she's like constantly
very
studying
underrated,
stuff.
but not even underrated. She's, I guess, underrated by the general public.
Yeah,
She's blown up though. Like
Yeah.
she went
But
from
you
like
For
what?
sure.
Like
you won-
her first major was the 2018 World Championship for Halo, right?
I think so.
And then after that, she's just been blown. She's like hosted multiple events, which is
I
crazy.
hope we can get her back in Halo when that comes out, but
Yeah,
I do know
No
she's
offense.
like,
it would really suck to lose her just
Yeah.
because like she's doing the Call of Duty League.
but I mean
I
she's
know
killing
Golden
it.
Boy
There, so,
says he wants to come back too, but I could see just like Shy Away taking.
yeah,
I could too, especially the Golden Boy's doing so much stuff.
Yeah, I just think he might be too busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's G4, E3. I mean, he's everywhere, man.
I was
But
gonna.
you talk to anyone who's like in the industry, Lottie gets nothing but praise.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you just
no, there's never been like a negative about Lottie ever.
Yeah.
She's great.
talk
she's
bad
good.
about her.
No, she's really good at her job.
And her backstory is like very interesting. She was like a, an international like field hockey player, like almost.
Yeah, I heard
don't know if
about
she was
that. Yeah.
Pro, almost pro, but she would come across play in the States and stuff like that.
That's
Yeah.
so crazy. And then the other thing they just put it on Spotify, but it's the Flank, and I know Maddie, you've talked about it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I listen to that like almost every day. Like if
Zuma's
there's a new
energy
Flank
is
up, I'm
so
like,
good.
all right, let's go. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like Zuma's hilarious. Ben, I don't really know who Ben is. I know they talked about it on one of the most recent ones, but then like Zinni almost always joins, and it's just I don't know. It's always
Is that the one
entertaining.
we listened to while we were working at your house?
Yeah, it's kind of not great for listening to with like a bunch of people because it's just lots of yelling. Because Zuma is just a very loud, energetic person. But you get a lot of players on there and you just get like a behind the scenes from
They
like
do
a
lot of
player.
video review too. But yeah,
also
he
love
does.
Zuma's
He doesn't
personality.
usually. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
his like energy is contagious.
Yeah.
But he'll go live like right after the matches are done.
Yeah,
And they're always like Bash was saying, there's always a pro that like
Yep.
is in the chat, and sometimes they even get him to join.
I mean, they had Clayster and Asim in the call with them, breaking down their match against Atlanta.
Which is cool.
It was crazy. I don't know, but those are probably like the two that I look forward to the most now.
That's I'm gonna throw that as like an honorable mention for me. I kind of forgot about it.
I was so happy when I found him on Spotify, but
yeah, because I like watching the YouTube videos, but yes, having it on Spotify makes it very easy.
It's just easier for me because I usually have a lot, especially recently what we've been doing at work. I have a lot of time spent with headphones in, so
Same.
it's just easy to listen to it.
Yeah,
So you
that's
guys
the hard
work
part for me is I don't have headphones in while I work because I have to be able to listen to things.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, you gotta listen to like cars and if the car's making certain noises and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take my headphones with me and try and listen to some podcasts, but I won't be able to like listen to the whole thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Just when you go for
Don't
your
wanna-
test drive, you just turn the Bluetooth on.
The Bluetooth works.
I've done that before.
That's funny.
The Bluetooth does work.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, we have
Not
a
even
lot.
right here.
We have a lot of roster changes that are pretty big in the CDL.
Mhm.
I guess the biggest one in my eyes, Hook got benched for Fellow.
Yeah,
And
that's dumb.
Yeah.
That
I
came
saw- I
out
wanna
of
know why.
absolutely nowhere. So
I-
Illy,
I got on
Illy-
Twitter and I saw the thing. I was like, what?
a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
were
haven't
talking about
seen any
Illy.
explanation for it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they've really put out a statement on. I think Nameless came out and said that Crimsix had told him, look at the minimap. So I don't know if it's just a playstyle thing, or
Yeah,
it
I
could be
saw
a
that
personal
too.
thing.
Someone
lot of
said
people
like
were talking
he was
about that.
overextending, so Crim
Yeah.
might have not been like, happy about it. But I mean, they didn't play bad.
No, they won their match and then they benched
Yeah.
him and then they got 3-0'd. I mean, it's
Makes you wonder.
kind of crazy. A lot of people thought Illy was the weak link on that roster. They moved him to a sub, and
Which is funny, 'cause
Fellows
I think
the
I think it's actually Crim 6.
second AR. I don't know.
Six is in and out. Like he'll have good games and then he'll just have not so good games and
it worries me because they are literally the same boat they were in last year, and they won the championship last year. They just had to figure it out, and they didn't. I don't know. I hopefully it's not something personal like with Hook, something going on with Hook, but I don't know. It was definitely crazy, and so far I wouldn't say it's worked out because they did get 3-0'd, but it was Toronto. I mean, they currently are the best team in the game. They just won the major.
Yeah, they just won the major. Yeah.
So now, since you think Crim is the weak link, do you think if he was benched they would perform as well, or do you think he's too, imperative to the roster?
No, I think he is. I think he's too imperative. But I do think that, like back when they switched to 44, I think Clayster would have been a better choice.
I was gonna say I was
Instead
just
of
watching the
Crim 6.
video too. There were one guy nominated as Clayster as MVP so far.
Yeah, no, I think Clayster is very good at this game.
Oh,
I think that
agree.
if he was on the roster with Hook, Illy, and Shotzi, it's like an E United thing all over again with Simp and everybody. It's a crazy squad.
Well, speaking of Clayster and his squad, they benched
Hydra.
Diamond Con and started Hydra. Hydra's been, bro. I love those.
saw that tweet.
I absolutely love those memes. Hydra's been very hyped up. I would say one of the most hyped up players coming into this year. And I don't know exactly if it was travel issues or I know he got to the States a few weeks ago.
He got signed, and then because of COVID, there was visa issues.
Yeah.
So he couldn't.
And he's
make it
French, I believe.
Yeah, he's French.
So a lot of people were talking about his comms being an issue. He comes in first match against FaZe, if I'm not mistaken. I think they only played one match this weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Subliners phase.
Yeah, I think they just played
yeah.
FaZe.
That's it.
One was it 3-2?
And
Yeah,
they
it was
come out
3-2.
3-2, win a search round 11.
Round 11.
God,
that was
it-
I mean,
intense.
they just
I
clutched
watched that
up.
whole thing. It was cutthroat head to head the
It
whole
was-
way.
it
There
was one of my
no,
favorite
like,
searches.
Moments where it was like, oh, they're gonna just destroy him. It
Yeah.
was
Um,
balanced the whole way through.
his comms were the big. People were complaining about his comms. They're like, they're not going to be good. He doesn't know English. And Clay said on the flank after that, they're like, yeah, in practice he doesn't speak great English, but during that match he was speaking perfect English. And I was like, yo, what?
Really?
Dude, I don't know.
Hey,
It's
if you
kind of
think about
crazy.
it too, if you're playing a match, you really only have have to learn so many things, like
You just have to memorize how other people pronounce
Yeah.
locations.
Like
or
call
right,
outs.
they
And,
have to memorize how you pronounce it so they know when you're
Yeah.
saying it.
True.
It's
Like
kind of
you don't
a
really need
two-way
call out
street there.
because there's not too much dialogue going.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
So
Yeah, honestly, bro, just shoot straight.
for other people to complain about it is like, all right, but if the players aren't complaining, then
I
who
was gonna
cares?
say they just 3-2 phase. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he,
and that
he hell he can speak French for all I care.
Well,
They just
yeah.
phase.
we'll talk about it in a bit, but that series is actually insane.
Yeah, it was nuts to watch.
Another one that a lot of people didn't agree with, LAG benched Vivid, who's again one of the young players that's been very good, probably the best
Yeah.
player on their team. They put in Chino, and a lot of
They
people
made
were
it
like,
work
"What are you
out?
doing?" And then they came out and they won 3-0 over Paris.
Yeah.
Now, was Chino originally on the roster?
He was he was one of their reserve players.
All right.
So, and I think he was he with OGLA last year? I can't remember for sure, but
yeah, I think he was.
I think he was. I don't know. I've always liked Chino. Seems like a pretty nice guy, and he's honestly like I think he's low key pretty good, but he was kind of frying in that series, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't give him too much though for beating Legion.
No, yeah. I
think
need to
after-
see
after-
I need to see a different team.
Yeah, this week they're playing Toronto, so we'll see how.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
how it goes.
like
And then they
like
play
no
Denver.
offense to Paris, but I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I feel you on that. Let's see. Speaking of Paris, Temp joined Paris. They benched
Yeah.
Fire 40, which I don't know a lot about. I know Parasite talked about him on the
dude, Parasite's been
podcast.
all over Twitter.
Bro, Parasite's wild. A lot of people thought that was a really good pickup, but again,
Well, from what like I said, I was watching another guy talk about what's going on. He has a lot of history with the Classic and
yeah,
someone else on the team.
I think
like he played
Aqua.
with on Splice. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Aqua. Yeah.
Yep. So there's definitely
So
history
they
there. So hopefully they can get together. I think Temp is a good player. I think he just honestly I kind of think Slasher probably didn't help him much in 100 Thieves or LA Thieves.
Yeah.
And then Slacked got benched for Havoc,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But Havoc also was on that roster last year,
Yep,
so
he's
I
on the
feel like he
starting
kind of
roster.
is an instant. The hope was he would instantly come in and just the vibes would be good again.
Yeah. Because he started on it when it was 5v5, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. That's right.
So yeah, that's the big roster moves.
That's it.
I believe so. There might have been a couple
It's a lot-
others, but
I'm joking. It's a lot more than what's happening.
I feel what you're saying.
I think the biggest one though is the Hydra thing.
Dude, there was so much pressure on him to come in
Besides like Hook, obviously,
and
but,
perform.
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
Hydra
just
just
think
had so much
he's-
pressure.
Hydra was just extremely like anticipated. Like he was going to be like on that new roster for New York, but couldn't because of a visa issue.
Yeah.
And then they
So
signed.
then he's just been kind of on standby for like the longest time, and then he finally gets here. It's almost, especially with the situation that New York has been dealing with, where they didn't even win a single map at the last major,
Yeah.
and they got knocked out. So it's kind of like it's a good hope and a good sign if you're like a Subliners fan to have like the player that was kind of originally supposed to be there to begin with, and who is so good at the game. So
because it was supposed to be Zuma, Clayster, Hydra.
and
Yeah.
Mac, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
it's cool to see that. I don't know.
I know there's that honeymoon phase, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
they came out, they
We'll
beat
see what happens in the next one.
arguably the best team. And it wasn't like I don't think you could say FaZe was playing bad by any means.
Yeah.
I think that there was
No.
moments where they just straight up beat them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there was no like bad plays from either team. I don't think it was more just outsmarting the other team in a sense.
Yeah. We can go in and talk about that because the next thing on the list is the home series. I've got 4 matches kind of circled that I wanted
It
to
was
talk
a hell
about.
of a series.
Yeah.
So yeah, they come out 3-2. They win around 11 to win the whole series.
Yeah.
That S&D, if I remember right, it started out like 3-0 phase, and
Yeah.
I was like, they were playing so fast. I didn't know you could move that fast and aim that straight in Call of Duty. And I was like, this is not looking good for New York. And then all at once, it was like Clay and had those guys moving at twice the speed that they had been before.
Dude, never doubt the Clay, man.
Dude.
Eubanks.
I was like, I didn't think anybody could match that speed and intensity from FaZe, and
Yeah.
then New York just did, and it was.
I can't wait to watch Clay win an event when he's like 60.
Bro.
And like, I want to see how hype he can get winning an event at 60 years old.
That's so funny.
With a bunch of like 13-year-olds.
Bro, they gotta be 18 because it's Call of Duty.
Oh
rules,
yeah,
you know?
sorry, yeah. Three 18-year-olds and the 65.
Spoiler alert, it's all his kids.
It's all
Bro, his grandkids, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I just did David and Maddie. Did you guys get to watch that series?
I got to watch some of it, but not all of it.
I gotcha. It's
Caught the
definitely
end.
one to go back and rewatch if you haven't.
It was crazy to watch.
Like I got to watch like the hard points, and I got to watch half of the control. The control was really good.
Yeah. Guess moving on from that, we have the Gorillas. They 3-0'd Paris. Let's see.
With the new roster.
With the
Or
new
the new-
roster.
Lineup, yeah.
Then Toronto swept Empire.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I just don't know about
I mean,
that.
do you think they put Hook back in unless there is like a much bigger issue that's going on that they're not obviously wanting to make public?
I don't know.
I just feel like just knowing Hook from like Halo, the guy seems like one of the nicest people.
Yeah.
I know.
So it's like,
I
yeah.
honestly think it's
Has to be a
more
gameplay
than what they're willing to release in terms of press. I think there's more to it than that, and it's none of our business.
I think it's based off of like the only info we have, which is the nameless comment
Mm-hmm.
that Krim didn't like how he played, so Krim had him benched.
I wonder if that's what it is. I wonder if it's gosh, I don't know, man, because Hook has been envy. Like there's no envy without Hook for the last
Right.
4 years, 5 years. So I don't know. I almost think that you'd have to think like Hastro would side with Hook over like Krim in that
This
situation.
kid's won Halo events and COD events for Indy.
Yeah. I mean, he has played on.
But it's not like he's not kicked off; he's just benched.
That's true. That's true.
They can
Yeah.
drop him.
He had. Let me see if I can find his tweet though. He had a tweet that.
And like I was saying before, if if your choice, if Krim's coming to you and saying this, and Krim's the IGL,
That's true.
it could be just a difference in, like what they want to do on the map, and it could be that Hook just couldn't agree with those guys.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I think it's a purely like just a gameplay. Like he didn't like how he played, and
yeah,
Or maybe they tried something in scrim, like they tried to get him to change his playstyle in scrims and it didn't work, or in practice or something, and
Or he
he
just
just refused to keep trying it.
yeah. I don't know.
but see, I don't see him. I don't know him, but I just don't see him as the person who's like he would refuse it to try and
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
tweeted this
Here's the thing,
yesterday.
I guess.
He said, "To everyone sending hate to Dallas and my teammates was a team decision. The org has done nothing but work with me, got nothing but respect for everyone on the team, just didn't work out, and it's time to move on to a new chapter."
So
So,
he's gonna be moving on to a new chapter.
I mean,
Leaving?
Yeah, that last part's weird.
Is there a new chapter, or did he just turn the page in the book?
Yeah.
To
I don't
another
even read
page?
books.
here's the
What is
thing,
the
like,
book?
who's
Ignore
gonna be able to trade for him? You're gonna have to trade a good player, and probably money too. I mean,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
that? It's probably gonna have to be like a contract signed and everything. Like
I don't
can't
know.
be that good and just go for cheap.
I do know a lot of teams would trade for him. It just like,
Probably go to Thieves, bro.
bro,
What
that'd be
is it,
nasty.
Miners played?
Drop, then maybe we do see him back.
Yeah,
Maybe they give is it Philo or Fellow?
Fellow.
Fellow.
hmm
We see Fellow, one more week and see how he does. If not, they go back to Hook.
Yeah. Hell, who knows?
They
They
could.
might 3 on the next team they play.
They could. I wonder who they play. I forgot to check that.
Yeah. Who do they play?
Darren, what happened to
Next
the
week?
rocker?
Next week they play.
I don't want to talk about the rocker. Oh boy,
Dallas plays Gorillas.
they just played like
Oh,
crap.
really?
Honestly, I watched that series too. It was not a good series to watch.
The Paris majors this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yes, starts to
Tomorrow.
Thursday.
Starts tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I'm done.
Subliners
does.
Ravens tomorrow.
Of course.
At
Let's
2
start it
o'clock
on
our
Thursday.
time, because why not? You know.
That's one gripe I have
So
with the CDL.
dumb.
Is it's too. It reminds me. It's not like Counter Strike, but it reminds me of Counter Strike, where it's like if it's always on, you know,
It doesn't
I'm
mean as
watching
much.
one day and that's it, because I'm not dedicating 4 days to watching Call of Duty.
No.
Like I'll watch
Especially
when
a
New York
Thursday.
plays.
I can
Probably.
put it on my computer at work, and I'll like every time I have to go get a tool out of my toolbox, I'll glance at it and see what the
Yeah.
scores are, and then go back to work. Like I can't sit there and stare at it. Otherwise, A, I don't make money, and B, my boss gets mad.
It's like
Right.
Counter Strike.
Don't make your
So
boss
much
mad.
you just don't know what's happening anymore.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's. They just need to fix it. Like, condense it. I mean.
I like
I mean,
everything else.
Just make it Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I think taking one day out would help a lot.
You could even do a later Friday, not start at 2, start later.
Even if they started
Yeah,
at 2
so
on Friday
45
and they just moved Thursday matches to Friday, and moved one Friday
Yeah.
match to Saturday, I'd be fine with it. I mean.
Well, yeah, because 2 matches on a singular day is so boring. Like it
Well, they don't
doesn't.
even
It doesn't
start
feel
until
like
2
there's
o'clock
any.
on Saturday, don't they? Like, why can't you start them earlier on Saturday?
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
5 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Something
It's a
about
lot
Friday
more-
night
I would rather watch
Call of Duty though.
I would rather watch I would rather watch a lot of Call of Duty than one, potentially 2 matches a day. Like I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
Yeah,
think
because like I said, I could say, all right, Saturday I'm not doing nothing. I'll sit and watch Call of Duty. But to say, all right, at this time on Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, I gotta,
Yeah.
you know, it's too much.
For the
Yeah, no, I
three
agree.
matches, I'm working. Like,
I
can't
agree. And
watch the
that
whole
sucks
thing.
because I would like to watch New York play to see how they keep doing with Hydra, but I don't want to like have my phone like this while I'm working at 2 p.m.
I think a
Yeah.
big thing about it, it's like a viewership thing. It's way easier to get viewers to tune in for 2.5 hours on a Thursday and 2.5 hours
To
on a
dedicate
Friday
it all for
than it is to have them tune in for 10 hours on a Saturday.
and then your viewing fluctuates based on
Yeah.
matches. And
I think that's a big thing, a big part of it. And I mean,
Now
I
I
don't know.
wonder, do you think if we weren't in a pandemic and people weren't home, it would still be like this?
That's an
Probably
interesting question.
not,
That's.
because these events, these would be
Majority of people are
in-person
still at
events.
But how many people are still working from home though? Or like,
I still think a lot are.
I
A lot
think
of
there-
people,
I think
I know,
there's a
like
lot.
my neighbor, he's like, we're not going back into an office.
There's a lot
Gonna
of like
say,
jobs like that that
everybody
are just gonna
around
do that.
here, as they're all back at work.
It's
well,
different.
yeah, I
here, though.
mean,
Yeah.
a good amount of people are back at work, but like there's people here who work for like DHS and any kind of like social, I don't know, the social government, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, like they're permanently working from home now. Like they're not going back and doing offices. If they do go into an office, it's to get specific like paperwork and stuff.
Because
But yeah, like I would say like the majority of people are back at work, but there are people who
Some places figured out that it's easier just to let people work from home.
basically
it's cheaper. You don't have to pay for
and
real
it's- yeah,
estate.
You're saving
Yeah.
a ton of money.
Yeah.
But that's true. I forgot that they would all be landing.
So I mean, I don't know for a fact. I can't remember from last year if they started on Thursdays, but I would imagine they would go back to the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know they're also different formats than last year, because last year they were actual tournaments. I thought the first
My hope also
one was
though is like when CDL events do start going back to LAN, I hope that the event isn't Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I agree.
Like that, I hope it just goes back to the traditional Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or if there's like a champs, it can just be Friday, Saturday. I don't know.
There's just
don't-
something. I don't know.
don't
There's
make
something
it
about
4
getting
days.
off work and going on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
You wake up Friday, you're like, all right, I'm in a hotel room. I'm gonna get dressed and go to the
Yes,
event.
yeah.
And then Sunday night, you hang out after the event, and Monday everyone flies home. Like there's just something about that
can't relate.
can't be beat.
Taryn, one day, man. Dude, I miss events so
We're making
much.
it happen,
and
man.
It's depressing.
I do
that
too, and
they're
I've
not a
never
thing.
even been to one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Damn it! I want to go.
We'll get you
It's
to one.
it's a kind of feeling that is unbeatable. Even like the crappy moments when you're stuck on an airplane,
Yeah,
or if you
I've
even
been to like
if you have a layover, it doesn't matter because even if you have a layover, you're going to an event. It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
No, I've been to like professional sporting events,
Yeah.
like baseball, football, whatever, hockey. It's I don't pay attention to it as much as I pay attention to gaming. So I feel like gaming would be such an insanely different environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
something
agree.
when you're so invested into it, and then
Yeah. Well, in terms of gaming, I've been investing a lot of my life into it for a long time now. But in terms of competitive, I haven't really paid that much attention until the last couple of years.
It just hits different in person,
So,
man.
yeah,
It does.
I think that will be the final turning point to get me to like full blown esports.
Well, I
Just
mean,
fanatic.
it's always hit with me, especially because like I'm not like I like sports, but I'm not like I've never been like really into sports. So having like esports as a thing and games that I enjoy, like I can act the way that people do when they go to like sporting events, but at esport events,
Yeah,
I'm
like that gives me the opportunity to do that.
yeah.
I'm the same way at a Jaguars game when they're getting stomped by the Kansas City Chiefs as I am
Confirm.
when Snakebite hits a triple against Envy in the grand finals. Like,
Oh,
it's the
baby, a
same to me.
triple.
you yell
I
at
live for that, dude.
Halo events.
Do what?
Yeah,
You yell at
and I
Halo.
know what that is.
Oh, I yell at Halo events. There's not that many that do anymore,
Y'all
but
remember that Photoshop that they
I
made back? He
definitely
was sitting
do.
on a toilet going,
David's got me twice doing that exact pose at
Yeah.
two different events.
Yeah, was it Halo Classic?
Yep.
You were screaming it off.
Yep.
You
That's
and
You and the dude from Denial.
yeah.
I was about to say
Blackbeard.
you and JT make it real easy.
You just
and
know
I'm
we're
just
gonna
like,
get
okay.
hyped. I mean,
Well, yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
and
It's not even
it
like
just
a question.
happens.
I'm like, okay, JT and Bash are in the front row. That's easy.
you yell so much that the players know who you are.
Pretty
It's
much,
true.
yeah. That's
It's true. If I
he
leave the
does.
event with a voice, it's not a good event. Dallas, what? That was a fun event, but we have some questions from Twitter. And
which
they're
actually I love this idea.
no,
Yeah,
me too. I thought it was a pretty good idea. They
I'm
actually
happy
came
that
up with some
people ask
pretty good
questions.
questions.
Yeah, good questions.
So, from Mr. Snowmiser, Noah, as he's known,
The
he says,
Mr. Snowmiser.
He's the funniest guy on Twitter.
Yeah, dude, he's
For
the
real.
funniest guy on planet Earth.
he says,
He's
can you
fun to play
still
with.
be
You're
called the GOAT if you haven't competed in years and others have become more successful than you? And I feel like this is targeted. How do you guys feel about the GOAT conversation? Is there only one GOAT? Is it overused? Like, how do
Definitely
you feel?
overused.
I
Oh
agree.
yeah, definitely overused.
Yeah, it's used way too much.
I agree
And
with you.
there can only be one goat because it's the greatest of all
No,
time.
not the
Yeah.
not the greats of all time.
There
Like,
Yeah.
could be a former goat who was
Yeah.
the great, but once like he said, if others have become more successful than you, then
Mhm.
that person would become the goat.
So then, how do you feel about the big? I feel like the big GOAT conversation in traditional sports is LeBron versus Jordan, but
Yeah.
they played in two different eras, and I think the
That's what,
same thing can be said about
and that's
like
what Maddie was saying. Was like Michael Jordan was the goat of his era. LeBron James is the goat of his era. Like you can't compare goat to goat. I mean, you can, but you can't say that one's a goat and one's not just because of that. They're
I
both
think
goat.
if LeBron surpasses Jordan in rings, you can call him the GOAT, like greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But there's always the argument, which is I think a reasonable argument is comparing the two eras against each other.
Yeah, you compare
so
Jordan at his prime versus LeBron at his prime, and
so going into the Halo conversation with this. I mean, we all know Noah. He's the biggest TJ fan out there, Lethal. And I assume the conversation is between Ogre 2 and Lethal. They played in two very different eras.
Very different.
Not just in my eyes, not just a competition standpoint, because I do think the competition only gets tougher as something progresses, but also they had events every month when Tuger was competing.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
Every
4 or 5
couple
events a
months.
year. You know, so how do you guys feel about that comparison in that conversation?
TJ is the GOAT.
Really?
That kind of surprised me. I can't lie.
Why? Wait, tell me why. Yeah, wait.
I have
Oh, this
He's got
dude
a
bringing out
spreadsheet he's
stats.
prepared over the last several years.
spreadsheet. Winningest Halo player, online and LAN. 51 wins.
Oh, really? He passes Tuger?
2-time world champion. He hasn't placed outside the top 3 since 2014.
That is insane.
That is pretty. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Won at least one
That's
LAN
fucking
event
nuts.
with 7 different teams.
I mean,
And he's got to be the winning. He has the most money in Halo, right?
oh, I'm
I
sure.
think- Yeah, but I think he has the most, and I believe Frosty has made the most in the shortest amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know he passed Tuger in wins.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
Ogre
such a
2
big
has
debate.
40 wins on LAN. He has the most wins on LAN.
Mm-hmm.
TJ has the most if you combine online and LAN, which we
Right,
have Pro
okay.
League. Back then, they didn't have Pro League, the
Mhm.
Pro Series.
And
all this
even now, we have world championships. They had national championships.
Yeah.
But even that's I don't think that's much of a debate really either.
And not a knock on Ogre too, because he's
No,
like you said,
no, it's a friendly
He's
competition.
a legend.
he-
I mean,
it's literally the
And
they
and
say
that's the thing. I think even if a goat, even if someone surpasses a goat and becomes a new goat, I don't think that diminishes the previous goat's excellence.
Now,
Or
here's
his
the
history.
deal. Here's
it
my
just says how good TJ is.
here's my
Right,
final
and it's
argument for
cool.
this. Tuger never replaced TJ on a team, but TJ replaced Tuger on a team.
Well, I mean,
No,
yeah, but age had age.
It's true.
Too,
I'm-
getting older and
I'm definitely biased
That's a good
because
point.
I didn't get into the scene until Tuger was already at the end of his career and TJ was, early into his
Yeah.
prime. I started watching
See,
when
now,
he was with
here's some
EG.
things about Tom. He's won major LAN events in 5 different Halo titles. So that's
That's
Uh,
pretty.
that's amazing.
And
That's
not
pretty
to
good.
mention, he's also won things in Shadowrun.
Yep. He's won at least one LAN event with 6 different teams. TJ has one event. What did I say? 7?
7,
Yeah.
yeah.
He plays top 2 at 40 events in a row.
That's
Which is nutty.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I feel like there's a common denominator there,
Also, too,
and it's TJ.
could you imagine, okay, and I don't know if you three remember this, but do you remember back, I think it was in H2A or the beginning of it was H5. Do you remember what Tuger's roster was going to be?
Oh, you mean his tweet that he put out?
What tweet? Did he put out a tweet?
Wait, say that again. I only heard the end of it.
His roster for his Halo 5 team a long time ago.
No, I remember he put out a tweet recently that it was going to be him, Dan. No, I don't think it was Halo 5. But it was supposed to team with him, Dan, Roy, and Lunch.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
That'd
he
been
put-
crazy. I
forgot
remember
who he
that.
I think he responded to APG maybe.
Yeah,
What
I didn't
was
know
the-
that. I was talking.
That wasn't
Well,
Halo
there was a roster that was going to happen for Halo 5, and it was Tuger, Shotzi, Arctic, and it was another fourth young gun.
I remember that.
Arctic, whatever, but the fact that he was going to have Shotzi and then another guy on the team, and that was going to be his squad.
I
was
remember that actually.
crazy to think about,
Situation in Halo.
That would have
but
been
it never
wild.
happened. So
He'd be like, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I think that is a good.
I'm guessing you guys all think Ogre too, since you were so surprised I said TJ.
I don't. Like I was gonna say, I'm biased. I didn't get to watch Ogre 2. I mean, I
Yeah,
100%
I
think it's
don't-
TJ.
I didn't get enough into the competitive scene until recently, so I don't know enough about either of them to make a choice.
I mean, the fact that you telling me that I didn't know that he surpassed him in wins with online and LAN.
Well,
And
that's
I
the thing.
don't-
I don't know Tom's online. It's I don't know how many events are
Sure.
actually even
I thought it was 48.
with online or
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't know where I'm getting that number. It just randomly came to me. That may be completely wrong.
I don't know. We have a few more questions we got to get through because I know
But,
Darren
yeah.
has to get going here soon. Um,
Fine,
this is
Darren.
from
Wanna
Just
be a nerd,
Breathe
it's alright.
SMH. How do you guys feel about the esports certificate?
Dumb.
Did you guys
Yep.
see
Stupid.
this?
Stupid.
Stupid.
The fact that it's that much money is
$400, dude.
Here's my thing. Who gets to decide? Like, who gets to decide this? I know they put together a team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they have
like
like a board.
Now,
But I could see, like, I'd be more like, I could see like a college or a university making
Right.
an esports degree program,
yeah,
and I would be
Yeah, I
okay
can
with
agree with that.
opposed to paying to take a test
yeah.
to get a certificate.
Yeah, dude.
who's gonna
It's
accept that
stupid.
certificate? Like, I don't know.
It's just like,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
spending $400 to be esports certified.
Yeah.
And what will it even do? I mean, yeah, it'll like put your name in the hat for the what maybe making some kind of org, but
Maybe if
It's
honestly,
they're gonna
like,
do their research. They're gonna find out who you are and how good you are and whatever you do, and they're gonna decide.
yeah,
No,
no, your general work ethic that you show by just doing it usually gets you lands you jobs in esports.
Yeah,
and
it's
your
not the same
previous
as
work.
buying a piece of paper that says
Yeah.
I'm this good, and then it just doesn't.
Like, don't take a test and spend $400 about it or $400 on it. Just be about it
Yep.
and do it.
You just have
Live
to
your
do
life
it.
about it.
That's what.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess though it wouldn't be a bad thing to have if you have experience, and that's just like a little cherry on top.
And that's fine.
If you're
but
going
don't
like
make it $400.
if you're going
Yeah.
on the certificate alone, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
And if
No,
you
yeah.
are getting hired by someone, then it's probably someone who doesn't know esports.
Dude, I actually did want to kind of take it though.
The biggest thing to me
But
is
I
like
don't want to spend $400 on it.
people
Well,
were
that's
posting some of the questions, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like it was like math questions.
Dude, I know, yeah.
Like what's the average of these players' salaries if you add this player's salary on top of it? Like it's. I don't see how it's going to.
Yeah.
Show anything.
I would spend the same amount of money it costs to take one of these tests as it does to take that test, and that's like $50.
What was that? You had a player on it. What was it?
That is heating and air conditioning automotive.
Oh my gosh. Our next
Electric
question.
sports.
I would only pay just a small amount of money to try and do that. It's in my mind that's the same thing. That's for my job.
We
Okay.
have two questions from Mini Mighty Mouse, JT. The first one, if you had to spend an entire weekend watching a culminating event for one esport, which one would it be and why? And for
Rocket League.
me personally,
Like a
the
fantasy
answer is
event or something that happened.
just like whatever esport you would want to watch. And for me, it would be Halo Worlds. I mean, that's
Yeah.
easy. I've done it and
Same.
it's very fun.
Yep. No, I'm that's my I'm the same.
I would say
same
Halo
answer.
Worlds, but also the CS:GO Boston major. Then Cloud9 one was insane to watch.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I forgot about that.
Dave,
I'm gonna
did
be
you
the
watch it?
oddball and say Rocket League just because that game is so freaking hype all
See,
the time.
It is.
Awesome to watch too.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to like a.
And I've been paying attention to more of its pro series than anything else.
I don't know. Rocket League Worlds would be a lot of fun to go to.
Oh, that there's no like
And it
the
was
thing
in
about
Turkey.
like Call of Duty, even with search, like search and destroying Call of Duty is like there's dead zones. There's moments where people aren't moving, you're just waiting for something to happen.
Rocket League never.
It
stops.
never stops.
Yeah.
It is constant all the time going, and I love it.
The next question is, what are the best and worst parts of being fans of esports? Anybody have any?
I have the same answer for both. Is that there's too much.
Yeah, that actually is a very good answer.
That's
There's just,
yeah,
That's
there's
just
a
too
lot.
much.
it's too much to watch.
Like I go back to like what I said before, like Counter Strike. You have the Blast Pro League, you have the ESL Pro League. Then there's, I think ESL. There was the Mountain Dew Pro League, but I think they
Yeah.
merged.
It's just like very watered down. It seems.
And see, I guess I'm just not used to that because I'm a from the Halo scene, so
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
get
and
like of an
you
event.
wanna watch
We get like
some-
2 events a year.
And with the pro leagues, teams are locked to them. So if you want to watch one team, you have to watch this league. And if you want to watch
Right.
another team, you have to watch that league. And then it's like, and then how do they all get funneled into the majors? You have to,
Yeah, that's true.
learn that.
Yeah.
But then that's just Counter Strike.
I
And
think.
that's on all the time.
Yeah, Counter Strike's crazy. I think for me personally, the best part about it is the accessibility. if
Mhm.
I'm a fan of a football team, I can follow them on Twitter. I can watch their games on TV. I can go to the stadium even. But as a fan of a esports team, I've been able to go to these events, meet these people. I can watch them stream, hang out, and chat every night that they stream. I mean, a lot of them are like very active on Twitter, and I can play the same game that they're playing. I can play with them. They might stomp on me, but a lot of those guys, when they're just playing casual stuff, they just invite people that are watching to come play.
See,
And I
how
think,
long do you think until it gets to the point where you can't do that anymore?
oh, I'm sure for some esports it's like that. I mean,
No, yeah,
Like,
I
I think
guarantee you, Counter Strike
for
pros
CDL
are.
it's like that.
was the Fortnite
Yeah.
World Championship.
Yeah.
Like, I bet there's nobody going up and able to just talk to Booga.
No, you're probably right. I guess maybe that's just something for our esport that we mostly watch. But
Yeah, I just wondered if it ever get big enough. Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking about Call of Duty and Rocket League and Halo. If it ever get big enough to where it gets to that.
Yeah,
I'm sure it
I think
will.
fame has a lot to do with that. Like if you take, nationally televised sports, those guys are famous. They're on a national team as opposed to like Halo professional teams. That like it's a growing community, but they're not like celebrity status, right? All those like national football players, like baseball players, all those guys are celebrities.
Yeah.
I don't think Pro Series like Rocket League, Halo, Call of Duty players are necessarily celebrities.
I will say though that like even like Halo aside, because it's much smaller than other esports, like Rocket League and Counter Strike, a lot of the time those players are just walking around. While you may not be able to get to play with them and whatnot, but like I feel like they're still accessible in some form or manner to the point where you can meet them
Yeah.
or even speak with them. Because like
Yeah.
I said, they literally do just stand around at events and they just kind of loiter unless they have to go and warm up for a match or anything like that.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
like
on
Dash
that.
said about them streaming is like you can go into their stream and chat with them.
Yeah.
You can't do that on like NFL
I can't get on
players.
Tom Brady's stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yo, hey Tom.
Well,
You
you
can
might
get
be able
on,
to when he finally
YouTube.
retires in
You can get on Judas
2030.
Shooters.
So that's true. I think the worst part about it is trying to explain it to someone that doesn't understand.
I literally did it yesterday at work. Me and this other guy that I work with. He's a few years younger than me. We were talking about Grand Theft Auto, and then I said I'm not even going to bother explaining esports, and we got into the conversation, and I just easily put it. I said, "You watch baseball because you want to see the best of the best play something that you like."
Yeah.
Because it's literally the same thing. People who like this video game want to watch the best of the best, and they get paid the players get paid to play, and people watch it. I was like, it's literally the same.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when you break it down like that, that's a
How many
pretty.
you think video games are? There's a crowd, and those
Yeah.
people want to watch the best of the best.
That's how I've explained it too. But still, I mean, some people just don't.
Because they see
They
it as
can't
a video
comprehend
game
it.
and only a video game. They don't
Yeah.
see it
They're
as a
just
sport.
being stubborn just to be stubborn.
And I mean, a lot of them people are people that think video games is still just like Atari and Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
but um.
Grandma?
So yeah, that was our questions. So thank you for the questions.
Good question.
Definitely.
Very good
I mean,
Also, real quick though, COVID
yeah.
is the worst part about being an esport.
Oh, true. That's the worst part about the world right now, bro.
I know.
Gosh, yeah, it definitely just like takes away from
It ruins it, dude. It's
like
gone.
the fun, because
Yep.
even though the fact that we can still do everything we do online, it's still just kind of like leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
I need the environment, not.
It just makes
the
me even more antsy to
digital
go because I just hear you guys reminiscing about it, and I still can't relate.
Yeah.
Well, Darren, we're in Digimon now. We're in the digital
Yeah.
world. So.
There's great moments in the game, but you don't have the great moments like when you two saw, was it the bums fighting at the McDonald's?
Bro, yeah.
The life stories.
You don't have
Yeah.
those. Those are what's missed.
It's the stuff, the stuff that happens. You remember the moments from the matches that you get to
Yeah.
see in person, but it's also everything else that happens leading
In
up to that.
between.
You know,
The experience of meeting your friends and making new friends.
that's another thing. Meeting people that you've
going
met
out and
online.
making memories, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely. I agree with you, Dave. That's definitely a bad part of it right now. I think we can wrap this up though. I mean, does anybody have
Yeah.
anything else they wanted to add, or?
I don't.
I thought I sent it to you guys. The NRG
Rocket
Rocket League
League
thing.
Yeah.
So their
Yeah,
naming
okay.
Yeah,
so
I
is
saw the
that
General Rocket or General NRG. I did not know they did that.
is it like the
Not
general, like the insurance company?
Yep,
Like, go to the general and save some time.
that's the guy.
Bro, imagine that guy like on the car, like that guy for like a topper.
See,
See, I don't
Weird.
mind. I don't mind like sponsorships, obviously, but they sold the naming rights, so now they're the General NRG.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
about that.
stupid.
that's
dumb.
pretty. That's like the channel in Discord that you put messages in.
So back
General.
in the Halo days, they did something similar to that though. And in Black Ops 1. So Astro had like a thing, or I think it was Astro, where they put Eon
Yeah,
in front of
Counter-Strike does that
like
too.
Instinct and stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
And they did like that's kind of like that, but not. It's not the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to the article I read, they said that this is the first of its kind in that
Yeah.
deal.
That's interesting.
Go to the general and save some
But
time.
we'll
When
have
you
to see.
said it was the General, I honestly my first thought was General Motors, like because Rocket
Oh,
League is cars, General Motors is cars.
That would make
It
sense.
Makes
Well,
sense.
that would make more sense.
No, the
Well-
insurance company.
They've got their
Straight up.
I mean,
cars
hey, it's
insured in
insurance.
case of
Car
demo.
insurance, bro. Yeah, demos.
I'm just wondering, that's just Rocket League NRG. If they'll be eventually just the General NRG.
General NRG. Maybe that's why
Like,
Hex
sell
hasn't been
naming rights to
active
the
with
whole
them.
org.
They're gonna start a whole
General
organization,
Energy.
not just Rocket League.
One more
General
thing I forgot
G.
to talk about. We have a Pick'em leaderboard, like a group on the Call of Duty League Pick'ems. So we'll
Dude, if
share
I
the
win, I'm gonna
link
freak.
on
I'm gonna
Twitter,
freak out.
and if you guys want to make your predictions for this Paris Home Series that starts tomorrow, and then join our group, it's the Average Bros Podcast. And again, I'll post a link. Just see how well you guys can do against us. I mean,
Yeah, join so you can lose to us. Well, to me.
and between the four of
Get
us, we'll have to make some kind of cookie bet at the end of the season, or to
Down
see
for
who
that.
wins at the end of the season. Because you know what, when it comes to us and bets, it's always cookies. Because why not?
That's what it seems like. You
They're
drop 50
delicious.
and you get cookies.
We'll have
Bro.
to go on the backstory of that next podcast.
That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
story
I'm
for
gonna
next
be
week.
a money guy, so.
Chips ahoy, my guy.
Freaking gambling.
Nah, this is
No free
implied
shout-outs.
before bet, but it'll get brought up later.
But yeah, so yeah, check that out and
Yeah.
be sure to tell your friends about the podcast if you enjoyed it. Hopefully you did.
Prepare to be
Please.
stomped.
The video
Send
should
us
go
more
up.
questions.
Yeah.
The video
more
should go
questions.
up Thursday, and the podcast audio will hopefully be up tonight, which is Wednesday. So, and yeah,
Yeah.
tweet us questions. That's actually a lot of fun being able to just answer some questions. So, but yeah,
We're
have
not
a
limited
good
to
one.
the questions either. It could be anything.
Yeah, that's true. Tweet us
Yeah,
if you
you
see
need
something
some life
crazy.
advice, send it on.
We'll give you
We're not saying
advice.
it's gonna
Won't
be
be good.
tell you-
I'll give you some existential life crisis advice. 100%.
Yeah. So thanks for hanging out and have a
When
good
in
one.
doubt, hibernate.